Tried to make a cool video and beans are all over.
So my story and morning actually starts like a lot of you probably start your morning with a cup of coffee. And before you say, how does coffee have anything to do with wine? I'm going to tell you. My last year of college, university, was at Michigan State. And during my last year, I got a job at Starbucks. And I know, before you guys start pooping all over Starbucks, the thing that I learned while I was there is how to taste different beans from different regions, namely Latin America, Africa, and Asia. See the differences and see how they would pair. In Starbucks, you actually go through a school, you have little notes. And I found that fascinating. And that's about the same time that my interest in wine started to peak. But, well, it's morning here. This is kind of a boring background. Let me go outside for a sec. So it's morning time here. Not early morning because I slept in a little bit. We're staying at this amazing beachfront villa in Croatia because we're doing a video about some of the wineries in the region, and this is a great place to stay. I mean, look at the view in the morning. So around the time I started working at Starbucks, a huge film in the wine world came out, a blockbuster film, a little film you might know about called Sideways.
If anybody orders Merlot, I'm leaving. I am not drinking any fucking Merlot!
So after watching that film, I just decided, wow, I really want to learn about wine. I think it's such a cool thing. Combines everything that I like, a little bit, sophistication, history, geography, since I was a geography and chemistry major. But there was just a small little problem. I was just about to start graduate school, chiropractic college, so I didn't have a ton of money, A, and B, I was trying to learn off of simply supermarket wines, and that's a problem in itself. But wait, before we get started, it's a nice day out. Let me get my exercise, everything, my routine, my shower out of the way before we get into that. So one challenge being in the wine industry is constantly, especially for me, someone like me is worrying about my weight. I've had struggles with my weight because everyone in basketball is leaner, taller than me. But I'm not going to talk about that. I made a video about weight, intermittent fasting health. I'll put it in the description box. But since we're here, it's sunny. I've been running hills, then jumping in the sea afterwards. I don't think there's any excuse. These hills, doing little mini hill sprints every single day, and let's see if it's gonna pay off. Went through the pain, there's my reward. Look at that crystal clear water. Let's get back to the story. Why was it so different? Why was it a bad thing for me that I was just studying wines off supermarket wines? Well, in America, everything you see in most supermarkets, all the wines, you see so many wines on the shelf, they can be quite intimidating, but all those wines are really come from about 3 big companies, and they're all labeled and bottled differently, so you think that you're drinking a diversity of wine. I remember as I was starting to get into wine, buying all these wines, tasting these wines, thinking, I don't get where wine appreciation comes from, because I think all these wines they just taste the same. I didn't really start to appreciate wine until my first trip abroad was in graduate school in chiropractic college. I was in Lucca in Tuscany, and I remember ordering a liter of house red wine. Must have been Sangiovese, and it just smelled so good. I remember just sitting there smelling the carafe. It seemed for 5 minutes, and my friends looked at me like I was a complete weirdo. I think that's when the wine bug really caught on. So when I graduated from chiropractic college, actually, I got on a plane and I traveled around the world for about 9 months. I finally made it to New Zealand. My friend, who was Australian, used to work in a wine shop. He gave me a Margaret River Shiraz, and I remember also after the glass was over, I was so sad the bottle was over, I was just sniffing the glass, I think, for about 10 minutes. And that's like the second bite of the bug. I ended up in Singapore. Singapore is an immensely modern, developed, wealthy city-state country. And as I started to build up my chiropractic practice, obviously income started to go up. I started enjoying
a lot better wines. Here's what you got to understand about Singapore. Because of the amount of wealth, the diversity in wine is huge, especially at the fine wine level. I mean, you want a vertical Chateau d'Yquem? Done. Some Chateau Margaux, Penfolds Grange, bottle of Eschazau? No problem. Chave Red Hermitage? Consider it done. And when I met Shireen, my appreciation of wine went to another level because she was drinking a lot of red Burgundy, a lot of old red Bordeaux. You know, just a few months of us knowing each other, I brought her a nice bottle of Pinot Noir from Yarra Valley in Australia. And she looked at me and she said, Pinot Noir from Australia? No, I'm only drinking Burgundy. And I remember drinking it and she was like, oh, okay, this isn't bad, you pass. So after about 5.5, 6 years in Southeast Asia, we wanted to take a sabbatical. We wanted to travel around the world. Flew directly to Switzerland and Italy, and I took my parents along for their anniversary present. I think that was their, I can't even remember, 30th, 40th anniversary. I don't know. We traveled, drank our way, ate our way through Italy, Spain, Portugal, and I noticed looking at the credit card statement, I was like, oh my gosh, spending almost all my money on food and wine. By the time we got to Turkey, Armenia, and Georgia, kind of the cradle of wine, we found that there wasn't actually a lot of information in English written about those countries yet. Georgia had not really hit the spotlight yet. Alice Firing's book about Georgia wasn't even published yet. So Shireen said, you know what, maybe we should write about wine. Maybe this is what we should do for the next phase of our career. So our first wine book, we were enthused, and you know what? Surprisingly, it's still selling today and helping people, but wasn't really the most well received. Here's a little write-up by Tamlin Curran of JancesRobinson.com. This interesting little travelogue would probably have been better off as a blog, where photographs may have brightened everything up a little. As far as uncorking the Caucasus, I'm afraid it's probably more of a cutting the capsule. This felt a little hurried, amateur, lacking research, back of postcard stuff. In other words, suck. Around Christmas of 2015, we launched our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel, and I have to tell you, the first few episodes were terrible. Hello and welcome to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. When I launched the YouTube channel, I wanted it to just be just like Wine Library TV.
Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Hello! Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I am your host, Matthew Horkey. Our train of thought is, for me, I love Tuscan wines, I love Piemonte. Shireen loves Burgundy. We're brand new in the industry. We're not going to have any credibility talking about those wines. So I thought, you know what? There's a lot of interesting wines being made in some of the more exotic, lesser known countries, regions of the world. Let's talk about them first. Let that propel us into the industry. I thought when I first started that tasting wine, giving your critique, evaluation, piece of cake. It's easy. I'm 4.2 out of 5 on this 90 plus point type of wine. I'm like in the 91 point range. Don't like that at all. The more and more I got into wine, the more I started to really appreciate people. Professionals have been doing it for a long time. I haven't been to Bordeaux for the last 30 years and tasted all the brand new vintages on Premier for 30 years. I don't have that Rolodex of information in my mind. As you start to gain more information and knowledge, you realize, wow, there's a lot going on to this. There's a lot more going on than you thought in this glass. Soon we found ourselves on tons of press trips. It's when organizations, wine regions, whatever, take a group of journalists, writers into the country, show them all around. You get to visit some rare cellars, taste some rare wines. I think that's the reason that a lot of people in wine writing stick to wine. You know, some of these experiences they have no monetary value. You could not put a price on them. I was in the Valle d'Aosta in Italy last year. It's a mountainous region on the border of Switzerland. Fantastic wine, fantastic food. Was judging at a competition, and I remember sitting on the rooftop one night. The stars were out in full force. Kind of reminded me of the South Island, New Zealand. There's still some snow on top of the Alps. You could see like the moonlight, the stars glimmering off the top of the mountains. I was sipping on a glass of wine, a Tourette for you wine geeks out there, and I thought, wow, I can't believe that. I can't believe that this is where wine has taken me. But then the more I got into wine, the more I realized there was something I didn't like. Wine is wonderful. It brings people together. It gives you a happy feeling, a wonderful buzz. It's just an incredible beverage. You put so many things together: philosophy, culture, science, art. Everything really comes together. It's from a scientific standpoint, along with tea, it's the most complex beverage in the world. So you would think, man, the people that deal with wine all have to be just wonderful people. And that was the rude awakening for me. As I got more into wine, started tasting with more and more, professionals, I started to wonder, why are these people all talking down to me? Why are they such nasty people? I'm pretty nice. I'm pretty kind. I just bite my tongue, suck it up. Okay, whatever. But I remember one time, I think a year ago, we were on a trip with some more professional writers, and a well-known magazine, well-known editor was kind of talking down. I felt it. We were sitting at the bar. He was basically trying to talk to me like I'm a kid or a mister or whatever. And he started talking about Burgundy, and then I asked, I said, how many Romani Contis have you had in your life? And he said, none. And I'm like, Shireen's had every single one. And his face just lit up like that. I shouldn't have let my emotions get to me, but that's what I did. I'm not going to say everybody. There are some wonderful, wonderful wine writers, people in the wine journalist media out there. Producers, everything fantastic. Okay, so we have our books and our website and our YouTube channel and our social media. Where are we going from here? So look, I know that I can't be, I can't have one of the problems in wine is the iconic wines are becoming so expensive, ridiculously expensive. I don't have the Rolodex of all those old vintages. I can't taste, my reputation is not the point where I can taste all those vintages, all those wines all the time. I'm not the best writer in the world, but you know what? I think that I can be the best at making YouTube videos on wine. So starting now, we're still going to be writing on our website, but we're going to be putting a ton of focus into our YouTube channel to pump out the best content possible. I believe that if you drink adventurously, you expand your palate, you expand your mind, you become open-minded, not only to wine, food, other things in your life. And I think that wine is for everybody. Wine is not just a luxury product. So stay tuned here. I hope you come along for the ride. I hope you keep drinking adventurously, and I will see you soon.
Hello, thanks for watching.
Hey, you made it to the end. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell so you know when new videos are out. If you like content like this, check out our Patreon page where you get some behind-the-scenes exclusive content. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Cheers.